Welcome to the Welllife podcast, where we connect with experts and individuals on what we have determined to be the 8 dimensions of wellness.
Yeah, so today we have an awesome guest on. We got Bill from NATIVECEUTICALS, which is a really, really cool CBD brand, local here on Long Island, that we also have in studio as well. So welcoming Bill on the podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Bill, thank you for being here. I think it's an important one for us because we do have NATIVECEUTICAL products in the studio. Excited to kind of hear your journey, how the business started, and some of the offerings that you have.
Sure. Yeah. First off, great facility. I love what you're doing here. It's not a gym. I look at it as a fitness center, right?
Thank you.
And,
appreciate that.
And I want to be here. I want to work out. So kudos to you guys. But NATIVECEUTICALS, we are a super high-end but boutique hemp-based company where we extract from the hemp plant CBD, CBN, and CBG. Everyone hears about CBD, which is, generally speaking, is great for pain and anxiety relief. We have products that are for short-term, situational, or chronic issues. CBN is amazing for sleep. So if there's a serious sleep problem, we have tinctures for that. If it's occasional sleep problems, we have gummies for that. And then there's CBG, which is great for focus, mood enhancement, and gut support. We currently help people with about 27 different ailments through the use of one of those 3 elements, which are phenomenal.
No, that's great.
Cool.
Yeah. How did you get involved kind of with NATIVECEUTICALS? What was the start of that process, and how did you get involved with CBD, CBN, CBG?
So I was a corporate guy getting on the Long Island Railroad at the 558 at a Deer Park.
Terrible.
Terrible
life.
Didn't get home till 8 o'clock at night. And then, of course, COVID hits and everyone's tried to say, what are we going to do now? I had to find a business. I wanted to find a business that did a couple things. One, in an emerging market, hemp-based healthcare is blowing up. People are hearing more about it. They're starting to see the difference between the stuff that you buy in 7-Eleven and the gas stations to boutique, high-end, medical-grade brands like NATIVECEUTICALS.
Yeah.
So emerging market, I wanted to help people. We have a significant opioid crisis. You hear about fentanyl every other day coming across borders. There's no reason to take any of these prescription drugs, hopefully get kids away from these opioids and all the problems. So I had to help people. And then it had to be something I believe in and that I actually use. Of
course.
So I have back pain. I use our CBD, our relief formula, our tincture, and my back is fine.
Yeah, love that. Did you use CBD for the back prior to getting into, say, NATIVECEUTICALS, or did you kind of become a believer after you got into the business?
You know, I was introduced to this thing called Flexeril, which is an opioid. Doctors will prescribe it if you're having significant problem, especially in the back. Makes you super sleepy, alters the brain like most opioids do.
Yeah.
I discovered, hey, NATIVECEUTICALS, let me take the product. And that's actually how I started. I bought, invested in the company, bought $5,000 worth of product, gave it out to people, friends and family who had ailments. Do you know 100% of them came back and said, wow, this stuff helped me with whatever my issue was.
Love that. Yeah. Wow. And then, so went from an investor, had some product, gave it out, and then obviously now you have your own storefront. You're running face on the business as well.
Storefronts, we're currently relocating a couple of our stores because rents are increasing like crazy here on Long Island.
Everywhere.
But we also are online at longislandhemp.com. We offer home delivery. We offer pickup that's convenient for you. So you can really get any of your healthcare needs from NATIVECEUTICALS directly to your door very, very quickly.
That's great.
Cool. Yeah. So let's take a step back real quick, right? In the podcast, we like to focus it on kind of overarching wellness. First off, what is wellness to you in that sense, right? It kind of, you're in the wellness industry at a specific standpoint, right? For you personally, back pain, however you grew up, if you're an athlete, whatever that looks like for you, what's wellness to you? How would you define it for yourself off the top?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it's a balance,
yeah.
Right? A balance of eating right as much as you can, right? I'm a big believer in everything in moderation, right?
Well, we just heard no cheese unless the weekend for Bill.
If I go to Dunkin' and I get my wake-up wraps, which you guys
we okay with?
You're okay with. Yeah. Good. I do that. I just don't have the cheese during the week, but on the weekends I might have the cheese in the wake-up wrap, but always the turkey sausage. All right, once in a while I'll get the maple bacon wake
Okay.
up wrap because it's just so
So good.
It's
Treat,
so
treat
good.
yourself.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. So balanced diet, I think exercise, whatever that means to you, whether it's 5 days a week or 1 day a week, just move your
movement,
body.
yep.
I'm a soccer player, so I try and get out once a week to
Okay.
just kick the ball around. So diet, exercise, and then stop with the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
If there's something going on, just ask. Just
Yeah.
contact us through the website or phone or however you're going to, social media, we're everywhere. Just ask the question, hey, I have this going on in
Yeah.
my life. I'm currently taking this. Is there an alternative to what I'm currently taking? And then we will educate, because we're all about education. We encourage people to ask their doctors, what do you think about CBD or
Yeah.
CBN or
Yeah.
CBG? Make a decision. Let's stop just popping the little orange cap and popping a pill.
Yeah, I mean that's a really important message. One, that you believe in the benefits of kind of the CBD and the other products versus pharmaceuticals, because what we do see is most of the ad spend that's even in this country is just happening for pharmaceuticals. So people are pushed towards these. Also, unfortunately, doctors push them too, because most of them, they perform well from a relief of symptoms, right? But they don't fix anything.
I'll tell you, one of the crazies, whenever you watch TV, especially nighttime TV, daytime TV, you see commercials that there's a father throwing a football on the beach to this little
Life
son.
looks great.
Life looks great
Yeah.
because they're taking whatever the drug is, and then there's 30 lines of side effects. The craziest one for me is like eczema, like skin condition. We offer topicals for pain and for skin issues. You don't have to take a pill to repair your skin.
Yeah.
We have CBG is phenomenal for skin care. We put it in our sunscreen, which you guys realize the value of healthy skin because
Yeah.
you carry it here. But it's something as simple as eczema. Just put a topical and
Yeah.
it'll clear it in a
Yeah.
couple of weeks.
I like that. It's kind of like not like get to the root cause almost, or kind of figure out what you can do more of a naturopathic way that's not so reliant on like that quick fix, take the pill. These things might happen, which you might have to take another pill for, right? But kind of get closer to the root of the problem and living more naturally, more like naturally inclined, right? That's kind of the wellness message we preach, where, right, get to what you need to do, fix your problems in the right way for the long term,
Well,
right?
I'll tell
Don't
you-
just take a painkiller because your back hurts.
Well,
yeah.
We share the same philosophy.
Yeah.
When a customer comes into Eight Well, you're not going to say, okay, start lifting 80-pound dumbbells or
Yeah.
start with the alternating ropes. You're going to say, okay, tell me about your fitness journey. You know,
Yeah.
maybe you'll say, how's your back? What are you doing today? When was the last time you worked out? What are your goals? You know, BMI, all this.
Exactly.
Exactly
And then
that, yeah.
you're going to come up with a program. We have people who contact us. We'll talk to them for 30, 45 minutes to say, okay, I'm not sleeping. Well, why aren't you sleeping? Tell us about what does a typical day look? Well, I get up in the morning, my 6 dogs, I have to go for a walk, and then I got to get on the train. My boss is a jerk. I hate my job. Okay, so you're having anxiety. Yeah, I have really bad anxiety. Okay, guess what? Let's treat the anxiety, and when we do, Bill, I'm sleeping like a baby. So it's a similar philosophy. I love that root cause analysis. Let's really determine what the issue is.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I love that. Sorry.
No, you're good.
That individualized approach, right? There's not many brands, especially in the CBD and hemp industry, that are taking that more intimate kind of like homey approach, right? Like you're just kind of being very verbal with these people, learning the individual and not just pushing CBD is good for inflammation product or sleep product, and that's it. And you
Well,
kind of just
yeah.
give it, right? So that's what I've seen, right? The industry is so, for lack of better words, junked up with
Well, we were talking earlier, 7-Eleven, gas stations,
Yeah.
pharmacy. You can find CBD anywhere. However, what those brands or those stores don't have is someone like us
Yeah.
who you always have post-purchase, pre-purchase
Yeah.
to go through your health journey.
Yeah.
Like you guys do. You're there with your customers every step of the way
Yes.
throughout their
we
journey.
we talk about it a lot, that fitness just like your industry, right, in kind of the cannabis CBD industry, it could feel like it's saturated, or it's oversaturated. But the difference is in the quality of the person that's offering you that product.
100%.
So it's going to be what difference can 8-Well make in someone's life when you could just go and do push-ups and run around by yourself, but hopefully we're giving you some value in what you actually need, and same kind of from your end.
Yeah, and when people are looking for a natural solution to whatever their ailments are, whether it's a topical, ingestible, they have pain, sleep issues, gut problems, anything that they think about, they should really consider, if they're going to go to a 7-Eleven, look at the back of the bottle or the back of the package. If you can't pronounce everything in there,
True.
NATIVECEUTICALS, we're not about additives, we're not about preservatives. We use only natural ingredients from the hemp plant that comes from our farm. We plant the seeds all the way through the processing and development of the products. So I caution everyone, shop where you're going to shop. We prefer NATIVECEUTICALS, but really understand what is in that, and make sure that the ingredients in there are safe and that they're effective, most importantly.
Can you give us a little background? We start at the top of that, right? So you say you start with the hemp plant. Give us a little idea of what is the hemp plant, and what is the hemp plant versus kind of the THC and the kind of the weed and the colloquial weed that we think about.
Sure. Generally speaking, there's this word called cannabis. Everyone knows cannabis. Immediately people think of marijuana, but there's also hemp. So marijuana has varying levels of THC in it, which is the psychoactive element in the plant that gets people high. Has medicinal value for sure, but so does hemp without the high. You know, our philosophy is get healthy, not high. So out of that hemp plant, we cultivate, we dry it, we process it, and it's through different methods of cooling and heating. You extract out of that the CBN, the CBG, and the CBD, and then you turn it into products. Again, topicals, ingestibles. We even have a line for our pets, which is killing it out there.
That's awesome.
We have a coffee, but we have a product for everybody. And you guys realize that, which is why you're carrying some of our anxiety line. You carry our gummies for any sleep issues. So folks should realize that they can come into 8-Well and just take a look at what we offer, what you offer, and get a little educated.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's awesome. I mean, I think the industry needs it, right? They need that, not so much the specific touch, but more of just the educated back touch. Like you said, know what's in your products. Is there anything specific that you tell people to look out for if they don't know, or is there anything specific right? You source locally in the U.S. from your own farm. What are some of these other brands that might be bigger brands that aren't as kind of close-knit or educational? What are there certain issues with some of those, or like we're sourcing if they're grown in foreign lands, and what's the difference there?
So there's a lot of issues in some brands, but there are also some good brands out there. I'll tell you what we don't do. We will never import hemp from South America, Canada, UK, and China. If it sits on a ship too long, it starts to degrade the quality of that hemp. So that's why we grow it ourselves. We process it ourselves. Take a look at the back of the package. Make sure there's no additives and there's no preservatives and no flavors to sort of trick the mind that something is actually going to work. We call it the placebo effect, right?
Gotcha.
Also, make sure, try not to buy from a franchise, because their philosophy is a little bit different than a boutique like NATIVECEUTICALS. So those are the three big areas that I would watch out for.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. And then do you have... Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Do you have
just a lot of crossover, right? So even just, we talk a lot about supplementation, the supplements that people are using. So a lot of people, before they work out, they use a pre-workout. In that, typically there's a lot of additives and things that aren't even going to help you work out better, help you feel better, help you perform better.
Like fillers,
but there's maybe just an extra little bit of caffeine that just makes you feel like something's happening. Or they add like some beta-alanine, makes the skin itch a little bit, so it makes you feel like something's happening. But in fact, you're getting no benefit from what you're actually taking. So kind of having that person on the other line to tell you what's best, what you're actually taking, and having a cleaner product that's actually going to give you the true benefit is very important.
And pure CBD, which you actually carry, our Vitality formula,
Yeah.
it's a great pre-workout. It is pure CBD.
So let's go through that a little bit. So the Vitality, why is that better for a pre-workout, or why is that a good pre-workout?
The formulation, it just really promotes great blood flow. It's actually great for men with erectile dysfunction. But it promotes that 30 minutes before a workout, take a full dropper, and you are going to have a better workout. Everything's just going to be feeling really, really good and flowing.
More so like a vasodilation kind of effect, like blood vessels opening up a little bit and
That's
promoting
exactly
that straight up.
Yeah.
And CBD is great for if there's any little aches and pains, it may take it away for that workout as well.
Cool.
Typically, if you do have significant pain, you have to take a tincture twice. But with the pre-workout formula, 30 minutes before and you're good to go.
How much would you be taking?
I would do a
typically
full
on that?
dropper. You guys are pretty intense here.
Yeah.
So full dropper.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's cool to turn to that product for a pre-workout, because people associate like 300 to 600 milligrams of caffeine
and being able to again have this more of a natural solution for anything that someone's doing.
Yeah.
Right. As opposed to I know when I was in college there was these pre-workouts that were like Super Pump and NL Explode, right? That were nothing, right? But made your heart race, so you felt like something was happening. So how about we give you something that's actually a little bit better for you, that the body's going to feel a little better using.
And you can live the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Too. If you
you'll actually come down from it.
People go to the gym at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. after work. I've seen buddies of mine that load up on crazy pre-workouts, and like that actually will open up the vessels, probably get your workout, but then also be good to relax a little bit after, because it's not going to have any type of lasting effect. It might have a calming effect.
Yeah, it's not going to be this high caffeine supplement that's going to keep you up, right? If you're working out late, or kind of give you a crash.
So we actually have a customer who, beautiful young lady, she's actually a model, and she gets anxious going into the gym because of the environment, and so she will actually take CBD 30 minutes before, and it allows her to relax, to your point. But ancillary benefit for the folks that work at night, it may even help them sleep a little bit better. Yeah. What people should know, again, about this entire industry, and they can Google this, Pfizer invested billions, I think it's $3 billion or more, in hemp and marijuana farms, because they know the future of healthcare is in this natural solution.
So we'll start to see CBD commercials from Pfizer as well.
As soon as the government figures out how this is all going to be regulated, if at all, they say they're not going to. They're going to let Congress figure that out. But there's certainly some movement in the industry. I mean, you see what's going on in New York, just with the adult use marijuana space. You're starting to see these lesser quality CBD brands go away, and people are switching to somebody like a NATIVECEUTICALS.
Because there's real conversation kind of at upper levels about
more awareness is coming out there, and people are talking.
Did you feel that you guys had a kind of a tailwind with, obviously marijuana products are kind of becoming more mainstream? Does CBD get a tailwind when that happens, as more people maybe seeing and having access to marijuana, or that feels like something that's a little more socially acceptable, or is there actually kind of a split when that's happening? Because I know like you can go to New York City right now and there's a kind of a dispensary or something on every corner right now.
Which
I don't know if they're
thankfully it's starting to shut those down.
There's a bunch. There's trucks, there's something on every corner. But do you guys see that more people are then having the conversation, or maybe just you get to have more conversations of CBD when everything comes into the mainstream, or do you feel that kind of hurts the market for you?
Listen, I'm a fan. I don't smoke marijuana. I never have, maybe a little in high school. But I'm a fan of what's happening in the cannabis industry. Not everybody wants to get high. If they do, go for it. But do it in a dispensary that's sanctioned by New York State, by the Office of Cannabis Management, have the proper licensing, the proper security. And that's where New York is heading. That's where Long Island's heading. But a lot of our customers are seniors, they're children, let's just call it youth. They're guys my age taking care of their elderly parents. It's the guy working the forklift, the tractor, who just can't get high, can't have any THC, air traffic controllers, cops. So people are starting, as the industry is evolving, everybody's learning more about the differences between what NATIVECEUTICAL offers on the CBD, CBN and CBG, as opposed to you just want to go out and smoke and get high.
Yeah.
So I am a huge fan of where this industry is going. In fact, I have dispensaries and other THC companies coming to me saying, hey, we need a high quality CBD brand.
That's great.
Can you go ahead and put my label on your products?
That's awesome. So you do white labeling also.
Yep. Wholesaling, business to business is huge for us right now. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. On a specific note, do you have any cool stories of people's progressions, right? As a wellness-based kind of podcast and approach, do you have any really interesting stories, or even family members upon giving them certain product and yourself, right? Is there anything interesting that you've seen? I don't know.
Yeah,
someone's
some
pulled
increase
away from
in well-being.
Yeah, pulled away from a pharmaceutical or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you one interesting that a lot of women in their late 30s, 40s, 50s suffer from is menopause.
Okay.
It's horrible. The hot flashes, can't sleep, irritable. I had a gentleman come into the store. He's like, Bill, you have to save me, you have to save my marriage, but most importantly, you have to save my wife.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's irritable, all the things I mentioned. I think it was 20 hot flashes a day.
Wow.
Can't sleep, irritable, all of that. I said, well, CBG is really, really good for mood enhancements, balancing, we call it homeostasis, of the hormonal system that women have. Went out with our highest strength CBG. She started to take it. A week later, he comes back. Literally, you saved my marriage. My wife, where she refused to do anything like cleaning and go shopping, she's now up and cleaning, and we're going shopping together. We're going to the mall together. She's nicer to me. She's only having.
She's happier.
She's happier.
The dream.
and the 20 a day went down to 1 or 2 a week. So those stories make me super, super
That's
happy.
unbelievable, because the hot flash, it's like a whole hormonal thing too. That's wild. That's not just
suffer.
mood, you know.
The ladies in our lives, they suffer, and we want to help them suffer a lot less, or not at all.
Well, that's all we talk about is kind of improving overall well-being, right? And that overall well-being that she has improved theirs. Now she feels better herself. She's probably better at work. She's probably better partner, better, right? And then she can be a better mother because you're actually just a little more control of your life, of kind of the way you feel, of your mental health as well.
Here's one more story.
Great. Yeah.
Gentleman comes in, sister's in the hospital, pain, they want to give her pills, significant pain. And he visited her every day. He came into the store, guys, my sister, she's not doing well. Again, significant pain. What do you have that's natural that she can just try? Gave her our CBD relief formula tincture. She started to take it.
Tincture is ingested, by the way, right? That's under the tongue. And
twice a day under the tongue.
Okay.
It absorbs in the mouth. You swallow the rest, and it's really good. And again, it brings that balance, that homeostasis that we all strive for. So he came back 2 weeks later, and he said, "You know what? My sister's doing really well.
Wow.
There's about 50% improvement." Comes back a week later. She is no longer in pain, not taking any pills. He came back a month later. This is, by the way, after the 3rd bottle. He's like, she would never have survived in that hospital with the level of pain that she had if it wasn't for you guys. He's a customer for life.
Yeah.
Sadly, he's dealing with some cancer with himself right now, but his sister's out of the hospital, and he gives a large majority of that just for the care that she had in the hospital, but then also the supplement that she had from NATIVECEUTICALS.
And not going to hold you to this answer, but in those 2 stories, there's kind of a quick response to once they started taking a NATIVECEUTICAL product, right, a CBD or that CBG, that within weeks they could feel a difference. You typically see that kind of response?
We have a barber, significant back problems. He's a heavier guy. He takes half a dropper. An hour later, he was feeling better.
Wow.
We have others that we usually say 3 to 4 days after you start taking that tincture, you'll start to get that balance. but it can vary depending on health, fitness level.
Yeah.
So it's super important to be as fit as you possibly can. So yeah.
I saw this study came up that CBD actually had the ability to even reduce blood pressure. I saw that there was a couple studies that said it dropped by about 5 milligrams, right, in from the systolic number. Have you seen kind of anything like that? Because I think that even like coming from, my family has a family history of blood pressure, and all they're given, right, is a pharmaceutical to help that.
Yeah.
So it would be very important and kind of an interesting thing to hear just from me, from a family history standpoint, that CBD kind of has had some effect there.
CBD is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Blood pressure, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia. We have people who take our gut support, which helps gain weight. It also helps to lower your weight. So CBD has so many, it's a natural anti-inflammatory. If you have inflammation in your body, take that CBD. It's truly a miracle, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So everybody has something called an endocannabinoid system. I encourage
That
anyone.
was my next.
Okay, perfect.
question.
Anyone that's
That's where I was
watching this, I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
Endocannabinoid system. It's a metabolic system where we always want that system to be in balance or homeostasis. I encourage anyone watching this, if they want to learn, call me. We'll connect them to our chief scientist who will tell them everything about it. But start by going online. It's a real system.
So the endocannabinoid system, what's the operation? What's happening? What's this doing to regulate in your body?
Oh, we're going to go a little deeper.
Oh no.
There's receptors.
Let's do it.
There's something called CB1 receptors that generally focus on the brain.
Yep.
Then there's CB2 receptors that generally focus, I'm just going to say from the neck down.
Yeah.
But it really,
we don't have to go deep in it, but just kind of, it's already existing in the body. Is it typically trying to pull from whatever else you're taking in that you're taking in from a nutrition standpoint, and you're saying that the products, if you're actually supplementing with CBD, can kind of help to regulate that system as well.
And that focuses purely on this endocannabinoid system.
Wow. Well, I think that's a very interesting topic for people to understand, that there's already a system that's in your body, right, that will respond to CBD. So it is, as you talk about it being something that's as natural as something you're going to find outside, it's also as natural as something you're going to find inside your body. Right.
The other thing that's great about what you're saying is everything we've been talking about on this podcast is backed by science.
Yep.
I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
It's not tomfoolery. Google it. Whatever research tools you use, just look it up. It's all out there. There's tons of science. Facilities like Mount Sinai, Stony Brook, Columbia. These are institutions that are putting a lot of money and resources into developing the science behind hemp. Yeah, super powerful.
That's crazy. My next thing was going to say, right, you're in this. I know you got a couple other things going on, but what's your direction, or what's next for NATIVECEUTICALS, or for you, right, with the section of how this is growing?
Yes.
In the medical industry, non-medical industry, right? You have any thoughts on that, whether they're thoughts or whether they're things that you're actually working on right now?
I mean, for NATIVECEUTICALS, generally speaking, I want to have some stores, Suffolk, Nassau, Queens, and Brooklyn.
Okay.
I want to help people across Long Island. That's the territory I'm focused on right now, although we do have customers all over the country. We also sell product in the Bahamas, on the island of Nassau.
Spending every other week down
Bill
there.
goes to the Bahamas every week.
Goes down there.
He says it's work, but
It's market research.
yeah.
But as a company, we're constantly innovating new products. We have some super exciting products coming out.
Okay.
One of them, I'll give a little, just don't tell anybody. It's a water-soluble CBD. What that means is you can put a dropper in your cocktail, your orange juice, your pre-workout, your smoothie, and it is going to have a phenomenal response. We've done focus group testing, and the response rate is huge. So stay tuned. Contact us if you want to learn more about
That's
that.
cool, because I remember that stuck with me. I think you had said that to me a little while ago when we brought stuff in studio. They've got coffee beans, by the way, CBG infused coffee beans, and I said, for multiple sources I've heard, right, you could just drop a tincture into a coffee or something like that, right? But it doesn't.
No.
it doesn't activate
Yeah.
that correctly. So you actually have coffee beans that are made to be brewed right that way, so it's liquefied in that sense. But this dropper is cool because it's almost like in everything, right? An additive almost.
So the coffee bean is actually sprayed with a CBG isolate.
Okay.
So the bean comes through a conveyor, we put the CBG on it, but then as it's being ground up in the grinder, that beautiful CBG is just mixing with the beautiful flavor of the coffee. And that is great for people who can't digest coffee well.
Like acidity and different
Yep,
issues
if they
like
have that second cup and it just spoils their stomach,
Okay.
the CBG prevents that from happening. CBG also natural mood enhancer, and again, great for gut support. But the tincture is an oil. So oil and water or oil and smoothie, they just
That's
don't.
why you're saying the tincture
Gotcha.
doesn't work with...
Correct. That's
yeah,
why
with
we
liquid.
came out with a water soluble, which means you put it in and it just becomes the same consistency of whatever that
Gotcha.
drink is. It's going to be exciting.
That's
but
interesting.
we're also testing with something called CBC, which is another extract that's coming out of the plant. So we have an idea lab, as we call it. It's in Mooresville, North Carolina. We have a chief scientist, Stephen Brown. Real people, you can
Yeah.
look it up.
Stephen
and-
Brown, very typical name.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
Could have been made up.
But
Tyler Brown.
He is constantly testing new products, and we only bring to market what people really want.
Yep.
You know, some people out there want to have patches that you stick on your skin. We've tested all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work well enough for us, for our focus group.
Of course, you want quality.
If a customer wants something from NATIVECEUTICALS and there's enough demand for it, we're going to make it. As an example, I'm in the horse world. There's people who said, I have an anxious horse. Well, I'm like, okay, CBD is great to relieve anxiety. It's very dangerous if you have an anxious horse. You have a kid,
Yeah.
if someone older on the back of a horse, they become unpredictable, they spook. If they're on trail, if they're in the ring, if they see a mirror. We made a feed additive for horses. You put a little bit in their feed,
Wow.
and it's calming them down.
Yeah.
And it's not a drug.
That's the difference also with, as you alluded to earlier, working with a boutique business versus working with a franchise, right? I can bring my problem to you and you can try to develop a solution as opposed to a franchise that's going to be set in their ways.
No franchise. There's one called Your CBD Store. They are not going to make a custom product just for you.
Yeah.
We also have, which you guys saw, it's funny, some of your customers, when they're out back ending their workout a couple of weeks ago, they joke, like, oh, look at those wine bottles back there. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's not wine. It's what's called a custom tincture bar.
Yeah.
So we have 1,000 milliliter jars, one pure CBD, CBN, CBG, hemp seed oil. Depending on if someone says I'm anxious and I can't sleep, or I have stomach issues and I need a mood enhancer, we can actually make a custom tincture.
That's cool.
Just for that person.
So it's those pure extracts kind of, and you can kind of make some sort of combination,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Does that happen in store or is that kind of how's that?
It can happen in store. We can bring it right to their home.
Cool.
Yep, we partnered with a company called Trellis, which does our home delivery. The other thing that folks should really know is if they're going on Amazon, eBay, and looking up CBD gummies, that's like one of the biggest search word. You cannot, even on a tincture, get more than 1,500 milligrams out of the plant. So if you see 300,000 milligrams, it is not accurate. 1,500 is the
That's good.
highest you're going to get on a tincture. We offer
Wow.
1,500, 1,000, and 500, and that's depending all really on weight and general health. So, guy like me, 220, 6'3", I'm the 1,500.
Built.
Yeah. If it's a 100-pound, person who's generally healthy, they can get away with the 500. But
Okay.
super important that people understand what they're buying. Even if they want to buy it, call us and we'll tell you why they'll be successful or why they won't.
It's great.
Gotcha. That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
I think that's useful.
Well, listen, I'm sorry.
No, we're good.
I equate it to you guys.
Yeah.
If I come in here and I just start grabbing equipment, you're gonna be like, no, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You're not doing it the right way. You gotta, if you're doing squats, you gotta have. I saw the bar has to be lower, not on the neck,
Yeah.
so you don't fall over. There's a certain way to
Yeah.
work out. You can't just go into a fitness center and say, ooh, those look fun. I'm just gonna pick them up
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah.
You need someone like
Yeah.
you two guys to really understand what you're doing so you don't get hurt,
Yeah.
especially with an old guy like me.
No, it hurts.
No.
It hurts us as the brand, and it hurts the individual, the client as well. I'm sure in the store people stick to you longer because they have that backing, you know, and they have that trust.
It's trust. Big word, trust.
So as we kind of wrap it up, but so if I have an interest in CBD, you mentioned a little bit kind of contact you guys, but what's my first thoughts? Should I research a little bit? Should I reach right out to Bill and his team, and then kind of how do I make that next step of what should I be purchasing?
Sure.
And how do I make that?
Best way to get us is www.longislandhemp.com. There's a messaging that will pop up. If you actually message, it comes directly to me.
Cool.
Our phone number's on there, comes directly to me. Social media is really good. Instagram is NATIVECEUTICALS-LI. Facebook is NATIVECEUTICALS Long Island. And then you can find us on TikTok for outtakes and all the other social media. We're all out there. YouTube, huge. NATIVECEUTICALS Long Island YouTube page has over 100 videos, educational, customer testimonial videos. Definitely just go through them. That's the way you get us. Secondly, before you buy, just ask questions. I want to educate you, again, whether you buy from us or somebody else.
And what would be the first question, right, that you're going to ask or that someone should come to you with?
Tell me about what's going on.
Great.
What does a typical day look like? What are you suffering from? Are you taking opioids? Let's work on a plan in conjunction with your physician, if you are taking opioids for a long period of time, to transition you off of that. If you're not, then we're going to make a recommendation for specifically what's going on with you in your life. We just want people to stop suffering.
No, it's great.
Love that.
But we appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you for the time. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I like that you provide your contact information. All right. Check out Bill, check out NATIVECEUTICALS and all of the resources that he gave us.
Yeah, we'll put everything down right in the information, where to find them, but we appreciate it. This is going to be awesome information for everyone to hear.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Enjoy the Bahamas.
Yeah, thanks.